Year in and year out, the Minnesota Golden Gophers feel like one of the more underappreciated teams in college football, and it was no different in 2024. This was one of my favorite teams to watch in the entire country, as they played hard-nosed defense, they ran the ball very well, and had good blocking up front. They were one of the more underappreciated teams in the country, and I look forward to seeing what they can do in 2025. One of the players who was a big difference maker for the Gophers defense was edge rusher Jah Joyner. Joyner is a player who has some really exciting upside off the edge, and in the right situation could be a fantastic player in the NFL. How high could Joyner get taken in the 2025 NFL draft class? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will be given exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board, with over 500 players and counting. There, you guys will be able to find all of the updated Combine and Pro Day measurements, stats for each and every player, and all of my written scouting reports. It is one of the best resources on the market, and I highly recommend checking it out if you enjoy my NFL draft content. That will be linked down in the description below. Leave a comment and let me know which prospects you guys would like to see in the future, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Jah Joyner. Joyner was a 4-star high school recruit and has been a solid player for the Gophers defense over the past couple of seasons. In 2023, Joyner finished with 46 pressures, 9 sacks, 6 tackles, and 11 run stops, with 2 forced fumbles on the season, and had some pretty high expectations entering the 2024 season. However, in 2024, Joyner's numbers took a slight dip in production. He finished with 31 pressures, 3 sacks, 14 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles on the year, but is still one of the more interesting athletes in this draft class. The first thing I love about Joyner is I think he brings elite size and length off the edge. At the Senior Bowl, Joyner weighed in at 6'4", 263 pounds, which I think is the perfect build for an edge rusher. But what makes it even more enticing is his 34 1/8 inch arms, which were close to the top of the edge group. He has alien-like size, and I think that teams are immediately going to fall in love with the traits. It's not just the size and the length that sticks out with Joyner, it's the movement abilities. Joyner showcased freakish bend around the tackle that he used to consistently set a good edge in the run game. We often talked about the impact these players make in the passing game, but I think Joyner makes an immediate impact as an edge setter in the run game. The bend also shows as a pass rusher, where if he gets his right footing and he takes the proper angle, he can use his 4.6 speed to get into the backfield and wreak havoc on the opposing quarterback. Once again, Joyner is a freak athlete who seemingly is just scratching the surface of his potential. I also love the versatility Joyner brings to the defensive side of the ball. He lined up everywhere for the Gophers defense. He took snaps inside, he took snaps outside, he played over the tackle, and even had one snap in the slot. He shows really good versatility to play in a variety of alignments and schemes at the next level, and I think he can be a contributor in multiple fronts. The biggest concern about Joyner has to be the explosiveness off the ball. He just isn't very quick, and it's really strange. He ran a 4.6, but had a 1.67 10-yard split, and his vertical was just 30 inches. He doesn't get off the line super quickly, and his burst is incredibly up and down. I don't think that is going to translate well at the next level, and it probably will limit him to more of a stand-up role in the league. As a pass rusher, I like how aggressive Joyner is. He gets his hands up quickly, he plays with a hot motor, constantly swiping his hands, trying to make a move, but I don't think he has very many moves that will consistently win at the league. He doesn't have a very deep pass rush tool belt at this point in time, and he doesn't showcase many counter moves to consistently throw linemen off. I also think that due to inconsistent pads, He struggles to generate power consistently and is pushed off the ball way too easily. Because once again, if he gets the proper angle or if his pads are the correct level, he can win with power. He has a good bull rush. He has good hands, but I don't think he knows how to properly utilize them at this point in time, and I think he has to improve at having a plan when getting after the quarterback. Lastly, I think control is a big area Joyner can improve upon. He looked completely off-balanced and overextended quite a bit in the run game. He needs to play more disciplined and not bite so often on RPOs. The potential is there, I just think he needs more time to develop. Jah Joyner brings some really fun upside to the table with his speed, his length, and overall potential. But he hasn't been super productive in his career, and he really struggles with consistency. There are teams that will love the traits, and he will be a developmental lineman pretty early on, but with the lack of a serious explosive factor in his game, I have him as my edge 27. This is a loaded group, and this is in no ways a knock on Joyner. I just think he's a little raw to be taken much higher than this. He's my number 169 overall prospect. In terms of a scheme fit, I like Joyner a lot as a 3-4 stand-up outside linebacker. Given the lack of power and explosiveness off the snap, I think he may work better in a stand-up role. He already has inconsistent pads, and with his movements and play style, I think this is where he will be at his best in the NFL. My player comparison for Joyner is Baltimore Ravens edge rusher Odafe Oweh. Oweh had up and down production at Penn State, but was drafted in the first round because of his freaky traits. Oweh has never really been a consistent contributor in the league, but he still showcases some really good speed into the backfield, some upside as a run defender, and is a ball of clay type of prospect. I see a lot of similarities as prospects between the two, and I think Joyner could develop to being a better version of what Oweh has been for Baltimore. Jah Joyner is a ball of clay. He has some really exciting upside for the position and is a player who I believe could be a really nice developmental edge rusher. And ultimately, I believe that Jah Joyner will be a 4th to 5th round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.